His laughter echoed long after the dining room fell silent. That smug, brittle laugh, sharp enough to slice the air, dull enough to reveal the rot beneath it. "How does it feel to be useless, son?" my wife's father smirked, tapping his crystal glass like he was conducting an orchestra of humiliation. The room watched, some amused, some uncomfortable. My wife, stone-faced. I didn't flinch, I rarely do. Years of controlled rage has a way of turning your nerves to steel. I looked at him, calm, measured, detached. "Feels great," I said quietly, "since I just stopped investing in your company." The glass slipped from his hand, shattered, just like his confidence. He didn't speak at first. His face twitched, searching for composure. Then, "What investment? What are you talking about?" I didn't answer. I didn't need to. The truth sat heavy between us like a ticking bomb he finally realized was under his chair. My phone buzzed in my pocket. Another message from my daughter-in-law. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes." The entitlement, the audacity, the casual disrespect. I texted back. Minutes later, I sent her the photos of my villa in Switzerland, sunlight spilling across marble floors, lake view glowing through 9-meter glass walls. My phone began ringing. Once, twice, 71 times. I didn't pick up. Instead, I looked at the man whose insult began this unraveling, and for the first time, I let the silence do the talking. Something about that moment felt familiar, like betrayal had finally circled back for its debt. I didn't know then that this night would expose everything, not just greed, not just humiliation, but the truth my wife had been burying for years. The insult wasn't what disturbed me. It was the look my wife gave me afterward, a flicker, quick but sharp, guilt wearing arrogance as camouflage. She touched her father's shoulder, whispering something in his ear as if covering a crime scene. I watched them, calm outside, burning inside. Later that night, she avoided me. No confrontation, no apology, just quiet movements, like she didn't want to be noticed. That's when the suspicion began to grow. Not loud, not dramatic, silent, subtle. Her phone face down, her messages muted, her smile delayed whenever I spoke. A softness she once reserved for me now pointed elsewhere. She thought I wouldn't notice. People always think a calm man is blind, but calmness is a weapon. I replayed the dinner scene in my mind. Her father laughing too easily, her not defending me, her fingers trembling afterward. Trembling. She only trembles when she's hiding something. In our bed, she slept facing away, breathing steady, pretending peace. I laid awake, staring at the ceiling, tracing the shape of her betrayal before I even had evidence. A question formed quietly in my mind. Who are you protecting? Her father? Herself? Someone else? The truth hovered close, just out of reach. But I've learned something over the years. When someone starts treating you like you're useless, it means you're no longer useful to their lie. I investigated without emotion. Emotion distorts. Strategy reveals. The first step was simple: observation. Her late-night showers, her sudden interest in solo drives, her new perfume, a brand I never bought her. Then the second step, phone records. Not dramatic hacking, just quiet checking. A number appeared twice a day, then 4 times, then 6. Unknown, unsaved, but familiar in frequency. I didn't confront her. Confrontation gives warning. I preferred silence. Silence tightens the noose. Next step, financial statements. A transfer, small but odd, to a name I recognized. A name tied to her father's struggling company. A pattern began forming. Not infidelity, perhaps, something worse: collusion, greed, manipulation orchestrated under the guise of family. I ordered a background check, quietly, efficiently. It connected everything: Her father's failing company, her insistence on me helping the family, her sudden coldness when I stopped funding him, and that unknown number, an attorney, specializing in asset transfers and discreet divorces. My wife wasn't cheating, she was preparing to strip me. This wasn't emotional betrayal, this was strategic betrayal. The kind that requires planning, coordination, patience. And the cruelest part? She was going to blindside me right after Thanksgiving. I felt nothing, only clarity. The evidence arrived in a sealed envelope, thick, weighty, final. I didn't open it immediately. I waited until she returned from her solo drive. She walked in, perfume trailing lies behind her. I handed her the envelope. "Open it," I said. She hesitated, then opened it. Documents spilled out, attorney communications, draft divorce terms, hidden transfer attempts. Her face drained of color. She tried to speak, but her voice cracked before the words formed. How did you?" I said simply. She collapsed onto the couch, shaking. Her father entered moments later, confused, demanding explanations. I handed him the second envelope. His company's falsified reports. His attempts to funnel funds through my wife's accounts. His plan to leverage my assets before discarding me. His mouth opened. No sound emerged. I remained still, cold, unmoved. They were breaking. I was not. "I stopped investing in your company weeks ago," I told her father. "You insulted me tonight because you thought I needed you." I leaned closer. "But it's you who can't survive without me." He sank into a chair. I turned to my wife. "You wanted a clean separation. Silent. Profitable." I slid my phone across the table. "Here are the photos I sent your daughter-in-law." Her eyes widened. "The villa, the luxury, the life she never knew I had kept separate. You were preparing to leave me," I continued. "But you were preparing to leave the wrong version of me." She broke then, soft sobs slipping through her fingers. Her father looked hollow, like someone had pulled the bones from his body. I stood. "This Thanksgiving," I said softly, "I'm not washing dishes." I walked toward the door. "And neither of you will eat at my table again." The night air was cold when I stepped outside. Sharp, clean, honest. Far more honest than anything inside that house. I felt no triumph, only release. Betrayal isn't loud, it's quiet. It whispers before it strikes. But truth? Truth is colder, sharper, final. As I walked to my car, my phone buzzed one last time. Her name lit up the screen. I let it ring, then fade. Some endings don't require closure, only distance. I drove away without looking back, because the moment I stepped out that door, I stopped being useless, and they stopped being relevant.